Hey everyone, Mango7 here. How we doing today? Welcome to another episode of Epic 7. Today we're going to talk about the collaboration and just kind of go through each and every little bit of it and kind of talk about what I like, don't like, what I think they could have improved, and maybe some other thoughts about this. Definitely though, my favorite thing is the music. And you know what else has great music? Our sponsor of the day, Monster Park, or Park a Monster. If you want to download this game, it's in the link description below. I picked it up in bed the other night and was just really enjoying the colors, the music, the sounds, the animations. They're hand-drawn too for a lot of these as well, which is really impressive. There's also collecting, and we all love collecting. We can see a team here. And you know what else there is, just in case you wanted it? Flying cats on the right side shooting fireballs, because that is awesome. Again, if you want to download this game, it's in the link description below. Park of Monsters, Monster Park. Enjoy this game, it's really fun. Okay, so this event here is all over the place for me. Like, there's certain things I absolutely flippin' love, and there's certain things I just don't, and I feel like they got lazy about. So let's talk about like each individual thing here. First off is the story. I feel like the story is okay. You know, it's one of those things where I'm not super happy with, but I'm not like disgruntled with. It fits with the theme pretty well. It kind of captures their characters. Everything about it is just like mediocre. And that's the thing, when they have so many important things in this game, stuff like the Gen side story, which I keep going back to because it was just so amazing. It's hard to really rival that. So when I don't get a DN story, I feel a little let down. And maybe that's not the fault of this story, but it's the fault of other stories just being so good. That was just one thing I wanted to talk about. That said, we still have one more final story left, so keep that in mind as we're going. And we also have a little bit more. So the event is not done, but we're 3 weeks in. I feel like I have a pretty good idea of what it is. So my biggest gripe, I think, with the entire event is the tournament. The tournament is the laziest, most lackluster thing I have ever really seen for an event so far. It's set up really cool, but it's just so lazy to me. And this is one of the reasons why I wanted to make this video, because I felt like kind of talking about this a little bit. Maybe finding ways they could have improved it, and what you guys think. Like, to me, this is just another thing where they say like one thing and then die to one attack, which just is super boring to me. And I know we have another difficulty coming up, but let's be real here. There's no way they do anything outside of make it like slightly harder. So my thoughts for this is just have it done a different way. So there were two ways I was thinking about doing the tournament. And these are just my thoughts. And again, when we come to opinionated videos like this, just remember, my thoughts are my thoughts, your thoughts are your thoughts. We can get along together even with different ideas and thoughts. So what I would have liked to see for this is one of two things. One, I would have liked to see some sort of, how do I explain this? Some sort of set teams versus set teams. So for example, when we go to Bazaar here, whoever we fight here, we'd go in with a set team that they give us, and then we would try to like solve a puzzle to try to beat the other team. Maybe we need to use our skills in a certain way. Maybe we need to block a certain spell. Maybe we need to land a certain debuff. I'm not sure, but something everybody could participate in that didn't use their own characters. And this way, new players can also access this without problem. And they could use it to like teach something too. Like, you can see a little bit of story going through these instead of just like fighting a rat that says, "I'll make you pay for looking down on us, Squeak." Like, this is okay for a regular event, but I don't think this was okay for a collaboration. Another thing they could have done is have it like an actual tournament, like a battle towers type thing. And if you've played Pokemon, you know what I'm talking about with battle tower. I think it would have been really cool to just be able to select either Baiken, Soul, or Dizzy possibly, and then get to choose between like a couple random people on your team to fill out your team, and you kind of draft them, if that makes sense, and then you get put up against random opponents over and over and over again until you lose with that team. And that just is a way to climb like a tower of a tournament. It's something you can do. as a new player. Like you don't need any of your own characters to do this, because that's one of the big problems. They tried to let us use our own characters. If we use our own characters, they have to make it easy like this so it's accessible. And that would be really fun, like being able to pick Baiken and then try to draft a team that has somebody you want to use with them. It also lets you get to test out new characters. It would have been so much fun. You know, what I'm getting at is there are a billion different things they could have done except for a glorified shop. And that was my big problem with this, especially for a collab. So I also want to talk about what they did right. And I think the number one thing they did right above all else is the characters. All three characters so far, you never know, we might get, you know, the hope is there. All three characters are just perfect, like actually perfect. Absolutely amazing. I love each and every one of them as a non-Guilty Gear player. And from what I understand, the Guilty Gear players are also really happy with it. So that's a really, really, really hard thing to do, to get both parties happy. And I think they freaking nailed it. Baiken is not only super fun to use and play, she feels like a fighting character, right? Like you use a combo and then you combo into something else and then you boom bang explosion sort of thing and special. Like that feels like a fighting character to me. And there's also Soul here, and Soul has counters and stuff like that, which makes me feel like a fighting character. Like somebody comes at you and you use your combo to do like a super special block counter. I don't know what it's called. I'm sorry. I know you guys are cringing right now. Feels like a fighting game move, but it also works within the game. And then there is Dizzy, who is just the best design character I've ever seen. And I have to say, huge props to Guilty Gear. I have not like smiled or been so happy to see a character like Dizzy in as long as I can remember. Like, not really entirely knowing her backstory, but seeing her character, how she's got an internal struggle on her shoulders, and seeing her try to fight for that within her character and her animations, and having all of her skills kind of reflect that is just like the actual coolest thing ever. So like 100% huge big props to Guilty Gear for doing that character just amazingly right. And then obviously we kind of took Dizzy and just put her into the game. So and they did do her justice with her animations here, her sound effects, everything like that, absolutely perfectly. So characters are obviously done just perfect. Now let's talk about the big one, and that is stamina. So that is my big problem with this event. Stamina is infuriating. And I think a lot of you feel the same way. I personally haven't even finished Dizzy's yet because I don't have the stamina to do it because I'm trying to summon right now. And I'm spending all my stuff trying to get Dizzy's artifact. So I really feel like this shouldn't have been an event where it amplifies what I consider the biggest problem of the game right now. I'm not sure how they would get around this, how they would make it grindable without costing infinity stamina. But I went through thousands of Sky Stones just trying to get the event done, and that feels like a really bad place to be, especially when you have to spend those Sky Stones to summon. So I have no idea how to fix that, but that was another big problem with the event. But that's less of a problem with the event for me and more so for the game in general. So overall, I just want to say I'm really impressed with this so far. Like, everything was mostly done right. I'm not mad at it. I'm pretty happy about it. The servers were crap tier and then amazing, so they made up for that too. But overall, I just wanted to say I'm just happy with this collab, you know? Like, I just wanted to talk with you guys, and I want to know about you too. What do you think in the description below? Have you enjoyed this? What are you liking? What are you disliking? Do you like the characters? Do you like Baiken? Are you pissed off we don't get Ino back there with her guitar? Are you liking the artifacts? That's another thing I guess I'll bring up is the artifacts, because I love the artifacts. They're all great. Junkyard Dog is really fun. Like, it's so fun to attack with Luna and burn somebody. That's just super cool. But the limited ones are frustrating. But again, I think this is a part of this is a part of the game itself, not the banner. But myself and many other... Ooh, I'm one summon away from an ML. That's really exciting. I'm going to do that on stream today. But myself and many others are trying to get this limited artifact, and we just can't. Like, I've hit pity twice on Dizzy trying to get this, so that makes it feel a little worse. So maybe that's something we need to look forward to in the future, is a way to guarantee a limited artifact in some shape or form. I'm not sure how. But yeah, I just wanted to say, and I just wanted to talk about this for a bit, since I never really covered the event, that I'm overall really happy. And I think most people are too, especially after the fixed servers for Dizzy. So that's about all I wanted to talk about today. I know this is kind of a ramble video, but it's nice to talk every now and then. Let me know in the description below what you think about all of this, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye, everybody.